What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Been real busy, just doing a lot of multitasking. Busy is good. I like to have a lot on my plate. I'm an Aries, so we have a lot of energy. Back to boxing. So it looks like Amir King Khan is moving up to welterweight. This is something he's been throwing around a while. I've said this in previous videos. He has a real rangy, lengthy type of reach, and he has kind of the same stats of Oscar De La Hoya. I think that's part of the reason he was successful before recent memory, because he has tremendous hand speed, and he has, for his weight class, he's pretty tall and long. He has long arms, real lanky, and then he has tremendous speed. He's been throwing around the idea of moving up to welterweight for quite some time. We all know he was calling out Mayweather. Mayweather's a chicken. Um, after I knock out your son, he was saying all that in the Danny Garcia fight. He said, "Oh, move to 147 from 140." He was saying all that, and now it looks like he's actually making the moves to do it. Um, what do I think? I'm not gonna say too much. A lot of people think I say Khan sucks. I've said it time and time again, and I'll put it out there again. Amir Khan, he has all the guts, all the heart in the world. He is an entertaining fighter. I have no problems with Amir Khan. However, based on his fighting style, I think he doesn't have a strong enough beard to fight in the manner that he does. Therefore, he's not really going to be on that elite level. Like, even if you look at Pacquiao, who fights very similar in terms of very aggressive, not really worried about defense, quick hand speed, um, like footwork, those elements. However, Pacquiao has a tougher chin. He has a way tougher chin, in my opinion. Even though he got knocked out recently, um, he hadn't been knocked out since 2001, so he went a whole over a decade without getting knocked out again. Whereas Amir Khan, if you see, he just has a soft chin. It's a glass chin, whatever you want to call it. It's not the best beard. It's not Antonio Margarito. It's not Brandon Rios. He seems visibly shaken up. Even the fights that he wins, that's what makes Amir Khan fights exciting, because he does get shaken up often. I can think of several fights. Maidana, there's some points in the Lamont Peterson where he looked shook up. Obviously, the Danny Garcia and British Prescott losses. Um, Most recently, even though he won against Julio Diaz, these are all fights where he's getting hurt. He's getting buzzed. So again, he's an exciting fighter. I just think his style, based on being like 90% offensive and little defense, I think that's ultimately his biggest hindrance. Other than that, if he had like a crazy chin like Brandon Rios or something, this dude would be damn near unstoppable, because he wouldn't need much. Sometimes you can. It's weird. I don't know if you guys ever had a job, but in retail they worry about inventory and shrink. And just a quick analogy. So let's say you work at Target. If you work at Target, you have a goal for how much product you can lose, whether it's to theft, it came in damage on the truck, etc., etc., etc. But a way to kind of get around that is, if you're a very profitable store, you can almost outsell your shrink. And what I mean by that is, if you're a high volume store and you sell so much product to the point where you're going to have more shrink, but it doesn't really matter because you're still more profitable because you're outselling your shrink. So the amount of money that they have to lose based on shrink and shoplifting, it doesn't matter, because they're so profitable in what they do actually sell. Now, the reason I give this analogy is because I feel that way with Amir Khan. If Amir Khan was the type of fighter where, there's a lot of fighters that are like this, where he was so offensive and he was so good at being offensive and he had a strong chin, then him having a lack of defense, it really wouldn't matter too much. Same thing with Pacquiao. I think that's why Pacquiao was unbeaten for quite some time, because he had such an explosive offense and a chin to the point where he could overwhelm people. And the fact that he didn't have much of a defense, it really didn't matter, because he was still more explosive offensively than his opponents, if that makes any sense. But anyway, Amir Khan, he's trying to move up to welterweight. He wants to get a title at 147. They're in talks to make a Devin Alexander fight in December. That's the optimum time. Devin Alexander, he hurt his hand in his last fight against Lee Purdy. I think he fractured or broke it. Amir Khan, he is Muslim, Pakistani. So he celebrates Ramadan in the summer. So he's going to be fasting. Obviously, he's not going to want to train or have any kind of fight set up while he's fasting. That will give his opponent advantage, because if you're not eating at certain times, and obviously you can't necessarily put on the weight to move up to 147 or be at your best. So I'm like I said what I said. Amir Khan said I think I'll be a lot more comfortable at 147. I've been struggling to make the weight at 140. I've been at 140 for a long time, since mid 2009, so I'll be looking to fight at 147. That's what he said. Richard Schaefer's trying to align the stars, align the cards to make the Devin Alexander fight. And he says, look at guys like Adrian Broner and Robert Guerrero. They moved up 2 weight classes and fought for world titles, and you see their confidence. You could do a lot more in training. You could build your strength and not always be worried about the weight. I think I'll have a lot more power. So what he's saying is true. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be true for him, but just in general, that is a true statement. If you're killing yourself to make weight, I've said this in previous videos as well. If you're killing yourself to make weight and you're having to sweat it out in the sauna and eat very limited, then that becomes part of your training. You have to diet really hard, you have to sweat it out, and you have to focus so much energy on making weight. It takes away from actual strength and conditioning training, altitude training, whatever kind of training that you enlist, because some of your training is dedicated to solely making weight. So if he did have problems making weight, which is something I didn't know he had problems making weight, or that it was difficult, because he always looks like he comes in lean and in shape, this could help him. It could make him more confident, not shedding those extra pounds. Again, he does have a bigger frame for his division. And they're also talking about this fight could possibly take place in Dubai, which is different. I've mentioned this also. A lot of fights are taking place outside of the U.S. Pacquiao's fighting Rios and Macau, the Gennady Golovkin, the Monte Carlo. They've been fighting in all kinds of different places. So looks like they're trying to bring back boxing to an international standpoint, get money out of state, different taxes, different venues, and different things like that. We all know Khan is looking to face Mayweather, who is fighting Canelo at a catchweight of 152. So I guess they feel this is, with Golden Boy, who manages Khan, they think this is the opportunity, like possibly the winner of Amir Khan, Devin Alexander, fight Mayweather if he gets past Canelo. So, like I said, it's really hit or miss. Amir Khan hasn't looked spectacular to me in his last couple of fights. I'm not really into making excuses. If he was fighting at that weight instead of moving up, killing himself, I mean, that's kind of him and his team, what they decided to do. So possibly this higher weight class will suit him better. Hopefully he can keep his speed. But in my honest opinion, I just have a hard time seeing him do well at 147, given the fact that he has a difficult time taking punches from people at 140. So if people like Julio Diaz, who was in his mid-30s, coming down in weight at a catch weight, he was rocking you and really buzzing you. Imagine someone who's at the full-fledged welterweight limit of 147, like Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana, let's say a Khan-Maidana rematch happens. Now you have to play catch-up, because Maidana's had, by that time, he will have had 3 fights at welterweight, and he's already a big puncher, even in the smaller division. So, and he has a chin. So I see that rematch being very difficult, and I think Maidana is improving with the tutelage of Robert Garcia. You look at the other people at welterweight, people like Keith Thurman. I know he's a prospect, but he has one-punch knockout power. He seems like a pretty solid, strong kid. He hasn't been tested per se, so we don't really know what he's like against someone who's more seasoned like an Amir Khan. However, he has devastating punching power, which makes me worry for Amir Khan, because all it takes in boxing, especially if you have Khan's chin, is one well-placed shot. So there could be some good matches for him, but to me, I just have a hard time seeing him cleaning out the division per se. Um, he can fight Bradley. Hopefully they make fights like that, because I want to see him fight Bradley. Bradley's with Top Rank. Khan's with Golden Boy. So who knows? But let me know what you guys think. Khan moving up to welterweight 147. Will he be able to take a punch? If he gets past Devin Alexander, who do you want to see him fight? Do you think Devin Alexander loses or beats him? Let me know something. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.